Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to recite this shloka? Okay. So let's see what this shloka says. We will do the word to word translation. Before that, this is a chapter 15, the yoga of the supreme person. So this is a Purushottam yoga and very famous and very a chapter which is having like everything, whatever is we need to required in a very condensed form in this chapter. So here Krishna starts with talking about that how this material world is. It is a upside down tree because it is a reflection of the spiritual world. So whatever you see in this material world, it is a perverted reflection of spiritual world. We see so many bad things, so does that mean that those are also there in the spiritual world? So no, actually. We see a very like in a muddy water, when you see a reflection, you see that, like, all the reflection is also muddy. It is something like that. So Krishna is just saying that, like, whatever you are looking after, you are looking after the peace, you are looking after the happiness, you are looking after, like, Krishna's seva. So that is all available in the spiritual world. And whenever you see a reflection, you remember the real things. When you look at the mango, you don't remember that, like, how the mango's reflection I had seen long back, at this place and all that. So you will not remember the reflection by seeing the actual thing. But when you see a reflection, when you are sitting, at some place, you will definitely will try to find out, oh, where is the original thing? You will remember the original thing. And that is the reason we are in this material world, so that everything that we see, that should remind us about the Krishna. So he talks about this material world, then he talks about spiritual world also, and you should come back and stay in the spiritual world. That is also Krishna is advising all of us. Then he is saying that, like, about your body also, how is your body? It is just a bunch of all these senses together, leading with the mind. That is what is your mind, that is what is your body, and it is enjoying a particular set of senses are given to you to enjoy a particular thing. So someone who is willing to eat a lot, so he will get a body of an animal who eats a lot. Someone who likes to sleep a lot, he will get a body of an animal who sleeps a lot. Someone who, or he will get a body of a human being, but it's in a mode of ignorance, who is like not doing very much, not enthusiastic, but sleeping all day. So all that we are getting, this body is, it is because of our desires, our karma, our what we had done in the past. The result of that, we are getting this body, which is like, made of these five senses. And then mind is a sixth sense which is controlling all of these five, and this body itself is made of pancha mahabhuta and three modes, like, made of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So all this is there in this body, and this is meant to serve Krishna, to attain the self realization, means to identify who I am actually, why I'm in this material world, what am I doing here, how can I go back to my home, how can I go back and serve Krishna. That is the inquiry we should be doing all the time. And that is why we are given this body. All these we come across so many situations, those are, we consider, very bad situations. Krishna is putting me through so many bad times, I'm suffering, like that we all the time we think. But all those are meant so that we will understand that this material world is not a place to enjoy. You are not going to get here any kind of a happiness. You are supposed to use this body and go back home, back to Godhead. And how can you go back home, back to Godhead? I mean, how can you use body properly? How can you use these situations properly? That is what we are learning in the Bhagavad Gita. So, last shlok that we saw yesterday, just a second, shloka number 10, let me get the shloka. That shloka is talking about leaving the body. So, here Krishna is saying that the foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body. nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of material natures. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. So, uh, we see many a times that, like, our dear ones are leaving the body, or we see some so many places that, like, someone is leaving the body, but still we think that, like, we have a lot of time and let's enjoy first and we will do the Krishna's seva. Sometimes when I will get old, then when you are old, then still you think that, oh, I still have a time. So you should understand, when you see someone quitting the body, that, like, we have very less time and we have to engage all our senses, energy, resources in the seva of a Krishna. Also, we have to understand that a particular body I am getting, or someone is getting, it is because of my past due karmas. And still there is no harm. Whatever body, whatever I have, I can still utilize it. Whatever situation you are in, you can still utilize for Krishna's seva. Prabhupada used to say that, like, you have to do the um, best bargain out of, like, a bad situation or bad resources you had given. So now Krishna is talking in this verse that only the one who are self realized can see this all, but not the others. So let's see word to word meaning of this shloka number 11. So yatanto means endeavoring, yogina means transcendentalist, cha also, enam this, pashyanti can see, Atmani in the self, Avasthitam means situated, Yatantah means endeavoring, Api although, um, then it is Akruta Atmanyo means those without self realization. Akruta. Whenever there is a in front of some in front of a word, it changes the meaning to opposite, like karma, akarma. Then kshara, akshara. So a is put in front of some of these words that will change it, like it will change the meaning to opposite. So remember that. Akruta atmanaha means those without self-realization. Na means do not. Enam means this. Pashyanti means see. Achetaha having having undeveloped minds. So the translation and purports by our dear Srila Prabhupada. So we will read the translation. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in the self realization can see all this clearly. What is this? All this that is given in the shloka number 9 and 10, that how we are having this bunch of senses and mind, and why we have this particular set of mind and senses. It is because of our past desires and karma, because we have to suffer or gain something, or we have to fulfill our some of the desires. And when we change the body, we are just leaving this body behind, but the atma, it is carrying, or it is carried in a subtle body, which is having again all the memories or all the impressions or the sanskara that we collected in this life and the previous life. And also that subtle body is also carrying the desires that we desired for past many years, and they are yet not fulfilled. And whatever we collected in this lifetime, whatever desire we collected, those are also there. It is also having all the karma. It is also having all the habits that we collected over so many years. And also whatever spiritual progress we did, everything is carried from one body to another body. And that is a change of body, is the death, and then taking the new body. So only the transcendentalist can understand all these things, and he is only the one who understand that, like, why this particular body is given, and how can we use it for the Krishna service. And but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to. So they may try to means they are using different methods. Some are like, trying to do their own study. Some are accepting the Buddhism and doing the Shunyavad, thinking that like, okay, change of body means like I'm going to, I'm going to merge into something that is not even merged, but there is all shunya, there is all nothing after I die. There is a nothingness. Some people think that I will merge somewhere or I am the god. So these are like a different type of a concepts or misunderstanding people are having, whose minds are very small. So they will not understand what is actually going on. Okay, let's see this purport. Sumati Mataji, can you please kindly read this purport slowly? Hari Bol.
Yes, Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are many transcendentalists on the path of spiritual self-realization, but one who is not situated in self-realization cannot see how things are changing in the body of the living entity. The word yogina is significant in this connection. In the present day, there are many so-called yogis, and there are many so-called associations of yogis, but they are actually blind in the matter of self-realization. They are simply addicted to some sort of gymnastic exercise and are satisfied if the body is well built and healthy. They have no other information. They are called yatantopiyakratatmana. Even though they are endeavoring in a so-called yoga system, they are not self-realized. Such people cannot understand the process of the transmigration of the soul. Only those who are actually in the yoga system and have realized the self, the world, and the Supreme Lord, in other words, the Bhakti yogis, those engaged in pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, can understand how things are taking place. Thank you.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji.
You
So,
yeah.
so we know that like Krishna in the Dhyana Yoga chapter, that is on the sixth chapter, in the sixth chapter also mention that who is the perfect yogi. He says that like yogi namapi sarvesham. So that verse is talking about that of all the yogis, the one with a great faith who always abide in me, thinks of me within himself and render the transcendental loving service. He is the most intimate and untied with me in yoga, and he is the highest of all. So there are so many different kind of a yogis. Krishna is saying that the one who is in a bhakti yoga means what is bhakti yoga? Actually, bhakti yoga means like very lovingly trying to establish our relation with the Krishna. And this is not a new relation. We have a relation with the Krishna, but trying to actually remembering that relation and loving him, and in that loving mood serving him all the time. Serving Krishna directly is there are so many different ways you can serve Krishna directly: by reading about the Krishna, by doing the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Those are the 9 methods given by Prahlad Maharaj. We can use those methods and listen about the Krishna from his great devotees, then think about it, meditate about it, glorify that, means repeat that to someone else. Then do the Pada Sevanan, means do the actual deity worship of the Krishna. Like the Lakshmi Mata does the actual service to the Krishna. So we are not yet there, but we can do the actual service of the devotees, great devotees. We can do Pada Sevanam. So we had seen in the past many acharyas, our Acharya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how the way he served his guru or his guru served his guru. So all those are like teaching us that how they are taking it very seriously, how they are serving Acharya. So they are like using their body, and menial service is also done, and some of them they are taking the instruction very seriously and like walking on those instructions. So both are considered as like serving their acharyas or doing a pada sevanam to their guru. So doing the pada sevanam to guru and different acharya is considered as doing the service to the Krishna himself. And slowly, when you start doing this, you will develop this love for Krishna more and more. And then when you Krishna is saying that manmana bhava mad bhakto, so you have to offer obeisances to Krishna uh, at least 3 times in a day. It is says that like at least 3 times in a day you have to offer obeisances to the Krishna. But you can do as many times as you can. You can offer your food to Krishna. You can uh, honor those prasadam also with the love and with the great respect. You have to offer this prasadam, thinking that like this is something that Krishna had given me back. So these are the so many ways that you can serve Krishna, and this is bhakti yoga. So if you do in this bhakti yoga consistently your service, it should be uninterrupted, unmotivated, and then eventually you will, with Krishna's mercy, you will realize your relation with the Krishna and how you are serving with the Krishna. And those who realize it, they understand that what is going on in this material world. They understand or they see the things as it is. Right now we have so many layers in front of our eyes that we don't see the things as it is. We are very much attached to our body. We think that like this is my body, these are my relatives, this is my house. And in this attachment you suffer so much, because if someone they leave their body, then you get so much of a pain. Or there are someone is happy, then you feel happy. Someone insulted you, you feel very dejected. So all this is happening because you are very much attached to your body and you are attached to your loved ones. So we have to start detaching ourselves from that. And detaching is very hard, so we have to focus on attaching to something. So if you start attaching to the Krishna, automatically this detachment will happen. And this process is a little slow process. It takes years and years to do it. But Krishna and Acharya says also that like when you do it with a immense faith and with like it takes even a moment to change your life. Like the so many examples are there that like at the end of their life they just say the Krishna's name with complete faith. Like even they were not even calling Krishna. So still Krishna accepted him as a devotee and gave him liberation, or showed him the path of liberation. There is a story of Khatwangaj Maharaj, that who was having only one moment remain, and he still was able to reach the stage of self realization. Parikshit Maharaj was having 7 days and he was able to do that. But for us, like we see that like it's been like 20 years, 30 years I had been chanting, I don't see. But the progress is happening slowly. It is happening. Maybe the intensity is not that much, maybe it is not unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service, and that's the reason we don't see the results so quickly. But we should have a faith that, like, it is working, this process works, and do with complete faith, some surrender to Krishna, and walk on this bhakti yoga. And one day when you will realize it, you will see that what this material world is and how it is a reflection and where you have to go. And Krishna will show you the path and he will take you back to Godhead. So that is what I'm taking from this verse. If there is any comment, please share with me, share with all of us actually. Someone wrote in the chat a long message. If you can please, what? Okay, it's a okay. It's this text. Okay. Okay. Vikas Prabhu, anything you want to add to this? Anybody? I mean, any comment is fine. Even if it is a question, it is fine.
No, Mataji, you've covered everything very nicely.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Valli Mataji, Haladar Das Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. I'm only thinking about, they're also mentioning about the yogis and how to be away from these false yogis. And yoga is also modernized and it is given a different name now. And they are doing multiple attractive things to consider. And attract mainly main people. So how to get away from that? We have to be very careful. and we have to
Hmm.
find a perfect guru, and that is the hardest
Ah,
part, because these advertising and all the yogi coming internationally nowadays, that is very harmful also. That's what I feel.
yeah, so true. Yeah, yeah. I see so many of my friends, they are forwarding
Mm-hmm.
these kind of messages of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this false yogi, and I also feel that, like,
Mm-hmm.
how they are, like, because you start listening one or two, and you, before you understand, you will just get in grab of that. So you have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Once
why
we
when
listen to the lecture, we see the route they take is only from Bhagavad Gita. What all they talk, it is there in Bhagavad Gita, but they change and explain in their own way.
hmm, yeah, yeah, they twist and turn the meaning.
Mhm.
And that's why it is written in it is taken from Chanakya Niti, I guess. Prabhupada mentions in few places that if you want to go and buy a diamond, then you have to study it little bit and
Mhm.
understand that, like, what you want to buy. So it's a very expensive thing, so you also should have some knowledge when you go out. So like that, you, before accepting
Mhm.
guru, you just see
Yeah.
everything very carefully, and also you also study it, not like
Mhm.
so many people, there is so many andhashraddha that we say, that, like, people
Mhm.
just follow someone just because they want to follow. Others are
Mhm.
following, my family is following, my friends are following. But what is it that, like, are you able to connect with that? Is it something that you want it? You have to think about it very
Yeah,
uh
the self-realization they mentioned in the text, that is very important. Only they can see this clearly.
yes,
Uh,
yes, yes, yes,
we have to
yeah.
develop our own mind, then
Mm.
take
Even
time to do
Prabhupada
that.
said, yeah, Prabhupada's books also, Prabhupada is requesting that read it very scrutinizingly. If
Mm.
you find that, oh, this is something you just question about it, then, discuss and get it clarified. I mean, not that just, do not be like, blind
Mm.
while
Following.
walking on
Mm.
for, yeah, followers. And most of the people do that only. And yeah, so that's the problem.
Hare
So like
Krishna.
any other, yeah, Hari Hari, go ahead.
Anybody else? I like your statement saying about be patient about by traveling on this spiritual journey, and
Hmm.
it is very important, yes, Mataji, because we don't know where we at.
Hmm.
And in chapter 7, text number 19, Lord has said, Bahunam Janmanamante, Gyanvan Mam Prapadyate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudulabha. On page number 327. So we don't know where we at, and calculating ourselves maybe that indicates our impatience. So
Hmm. Hmm.
leave it upon the Lord, and by His grace on the chapter 10, 10.10, 10.11, only by His grace we achieve these points, or by the grace of Guru Maharaj, by giving us the empower to do these things. So I
Hmm.
like the statement. So patience is
Hmm.
very important because our calculation is very different. We're in a hurry to achieve all these things. So very
Yeah.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then when I listen about all in Vrindavan, there are so many sadhus that they start chanting at 3 a.m., 3 in the morning, and till 3 p.m. they chant and they complete their 108 rounds and so many rounds. Then they eat just little bit. Then they discuss about the Krishna with the other devotees. So when I see that routine, I say that, like, as compared to that, what am I doing? It's just 16 rounds. Somehow I try to finish, and how can we expect so much? So that also keeps me on the ground, and at the same time I feel that, it's just one name with the full intensity I need. So, like, let me see in today's 16 mala, I'm doing it at least one time, if I can, call out Krishna with that intensity. So just focus on that, Prabhuji, and with the Guru Maharaj's mercy, we will all reach there one day. Yeah, so let's do shloka number 12. Can you please read this for us, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, giving me opportunity to serve you. Hare Krishna. Okay, that's number 12. Okay. I lost my page. Sorry.
No problem. I have an old book, so it is 643 for me.
15.12. I got it. Sanskrit way, it says, Yadaditya gatam tejo jagad bhasayate khilam yat chandramati yat chagno tat tejo vidhi mamakam. So I'll sing the both way. English way is Yada Aditya Katam Tejo Jagat Bhasayate Khilam Yat Chandramasi Yat Chagno Tat Tejo Vidhi Mamakam. Yada Aditya Gatam Tejo Jagat Bhasayate Khilam Yat Chandramasi Yat Chagno Tat Tejo Vidhi Mamakam. In English way, it said, Yat Aditya Gatam Tejo Jagat Bhasayate Khilam Yat Chandramasi Yat Chagno Tat Tejo Vidhi Mamakam. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yadadityagatam tejo jagadbhasayate khilam yatchandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Sumati is reading. Yadadityagatam tejo jagadbhasayate khilam yachandramsi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sarvedi. यदादित्यतजगतं तेजो जगदाश्रिते खिलं यद् यद् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नो तत्तेजो विधिमामकम्. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead if anybody
Hare
would like
Krishna.
to.
यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नो तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासयते लिखं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नो तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण यदादित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भासेते अखिलं यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Krishna. Anybody else? Please try. Chanting these verses is we are serving Krishna and Prabhupada by chanting these verses. Okay. So yat means that which, Adityagatam means in the sunshine, Teja means splendor, Jagat the whole world, Bhasayate illuminates, Akhilam means entirely, Yat that which, Chandramasi means in the moon, Yat that which, Cha also, Gatam, sorry, Agnav means in fire, Tat means that, Teja, splendor, Vidhi, understand, Mamakam, from me. Again, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to read the first purport? Read it very slowly. Go ahead,
हरे
Bhai.
कृष्ण. हरे कृष्ण माता जी. फर्स्ट पढ़ेगा. The unintelligent cannot understand. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The unintelligent cannot understand how things are taking place, but one can begin to be established in knowledge by understanding what the Lord explains here. Everyone sees the sun, moon, fire, and electricity. One should simply try to understand that the splendor of the sun, the splendor of the moon, and the splendor of the electricity or fire are coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such a conception of life, the beginning of Krishna consciousness, lies a great deal of advancement for the conditioned soul in this material world. The living entities are essentially the parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and He is giving herewith the hint how they can come back to Godhead, back to home. Hare Krishna.
Hey, Krishna. So very simple way Prabhupada explained that, like, in the previous 2, 3 verses, transmigration and everything is given, and maybe that is hard to understand, but you can see this sun, moon, and fire, and everywhere, wherever there is a light, it is coming from or that splendor is coming from the Krishna, because from Krishna's body, these effulgences are coming. That is we call as a Brahma Jyoti. So these small sun, moon, and everything, they are also getting this splendor from the Krishna only. Um, we see in the 7th chapter, 9th chapter, Krishna explained that so many wonderful things are coming from the Krishna, and you can remember him while enjoying or while coming across those things. So we see this sun, moon, you can see next time, you just remember that, like, this splendor is coming from Krishna. When you drink a water, the taste of the water is coming from the Krishna. When there is a wonderful smell from the earth, like, after the in the like after first rain, and generally I used to get, I mean, I don't see much in USA, but in India you experience that first smell, that is also coming from the Krishna. The smell of all the flowers, then ras from every fruit is also coming from Krishna. So because that ras in the fruit, that juice in the fruit is coming because of the moonlight, and that moonlight is again, Krishna is a source of that moonlight. So Krishna is also source of this juicy part in that each and every fruit. Then so many things, all the wonderful things that you see the intelligence of someone, you see beauty of someone, you see someone's great talent. I mean, how they are singing, how they are, like, painting. All these things are coming from the Krishna. So you have to, whenever you see that, you have to remember Krishna. And then these are all the instruments. They are there in front of me to remind me again and again that, okay, you have to remember Krishna, that he is giving all of these things. And whatever we have, that is also, everything is coming from Krishna. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. Valli Mataji, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna. From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole solar system. There are different universes and solar systems, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also. But in each universe, there is only one sun. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.21, the moon is one of the stars, Nakshatram Aham Sashi. Sunlight is due to the spiritual effulgence in the spiritual sky of the Supreme Lord. With the rise of sun, the activities of the human beings are set up. They set fire to prepare their foodstuff. They set fire to start the factories, etc. So many things are done with the help of the fire. Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities. Without their help, no living entity can live. So, if one can understand that the light and splendor of the sun, moon, and fire are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then once Krishna consciousness will begin. By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. The moonshine is also pleasing that people can easily understand that they are living by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Without His mercy, there cannot be sun. Without His mercy, there cannot be moon. And without His mercy, there cannot be fire. And without the help of sun, moon, and fire, no one can live. These are some thoughts to provoke Krishna consciousness in the conditioned soul. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari. Wonderful purport. Again, Krishna. So Prabhupada is reminding again that, like, without fire, without the sunlight, there will not be any life. And we have to remember that all of this is coming from Krishna.
Just
Wonderful.
yesterday, I experienced this Mataji evening. We actually came to downtown Chicago to see the color they dyed because of the St. Patrick's Day. We came around 6:30 and we saw the color and we went for a walk. And we couldn't see the color of the water also because it is already dark by that time. Just 1 hour before, when there is a sunlight, everything looked so beautiful. And
Mm.
suddenly, I felt like a light is this morning also I was thinking the same thing, how light is so much important. We cannot even notice the color that is in front of us without a light. So
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 true.
amazed to see the same purport in the morning.
Hari Hari. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. And automatically, when during the summer, you feel so, you know, active because, like, sunlight is like till 7 o'clock. I see sunlight outside, so it's so amazing. Otherwise, it feels so depressing so it even our mood also changes. It's what to talk about the other things. But yeah, anything anybody would like to add? I'm not talking much now on this verse. I want to hear from you all. Please try share something.
One question, I couldn't answer when people ask, say on the page 605, that says there are different universes and solar system, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also. But in each universe, remember this one, but in each universe, there is only one sun, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.21. And in today's world, what can we answer to the people like that? How can we say what is written here in Bhagavad Gita? Is it only by Shraddha we can accept it, or what?
Yes, Prabhuji, because like science is not able to yet, they know that they talk about the Milky Ways and there are like so many planets. They're finding that, but still it is not clear that in each universe what is in there. Brahmanda is like there are 7 layers and it is like a shape of a egg in which all these planetary system is there, like in which, like, we are like on one of the tiny planet called as a Earth, but then there are like 7 planetary systems above us and then below us also, which we call that heavenly planets and hellish planet. All together, these 14 planetary planets it is not also on top of each other. It is like a plate. So they explain that very well. Prabhupada had explained that how they are situated also. And based on that, like now the new planetarium is coming in the Mayapur Dham. But this everything is inside one Brahmanda. And then there is a sun, moon, everything is there for this one Brahmanda. Like that, there are millions of Brahmanda. Ours is said that ours is the smallest of all Brahmandas because the Brahmadev in this planet, he is having only 4 head. On the rest of the planets, they are having 16 headed, 64 headed, millions head Brahmadev. The bigger the planet, the more the heads. I mean, Brahmadev is having like, many, many heads in that particular planet. So explaining this to the faithless person or someone who is not having, they believe in too much into the science, it's very hard to explain them, Prabhuji. It requires faith because we can only give the praman from the shastras, but we can't like go and show them or prove them in any other way. So that is what is at least
Is the Brahman means here in today's world galaxies or not?
universe. That is what they are saying. I mean, Prabhupada translated or said that it as a universe. Galaxy, I don't know, Vikas Prabhu, what do you think? So
Hare
galaxy,
Krishna.
Hari bol. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have also pondered over this question multiple times, especially when you read through Srimad Bhagavatam, the fifth canto, and it's a description of the universe. It is not something which is, you know, uh, not very much in line with the understanding of universe as per modern science. But what we have to also understand is modern science itself is evolving every time. So previously, just 300, 400 years ago, modern science used to think that Earth is flat, that everything is revolving around the Earth. Our Srimad Bhagavatam actually says that, yeah, the sun revolves around the universe. Whereas we now understand through science that everything is revolving around the sun. But if you really think about it, in a universe that is ever growing, science also says that, and everything is revolving around something. Now, who's revolving around whom, right? So we have to understand that science is evolving. You just don't, we cannot understand or take science one for uh, sacrosanct, that because it will have new theory tomorrow. So previously we used to think there is only one universe, then there was a string theory, which means that anytime new universes can get created, and it is getting proved. We say that Krishna is creating and he's destroying the universes. It's nothing else but what now science sees as creation of universes through the pulsar stars, and then through the black holes he destroys, etc. So science is yet to catch up. The other thing is not only that science is evolving, how we describe, you are right, what is the definition? So just see the simple definition of a body from our perspective, which happened thousands of years ago, where we said the body is different layers around the soul. But science still, basically, predominantly, most of science thinks of the body and analyzes the body just on the atoms. Then science only analyzes the mind concept. Science still cannot understand the energy concept, the pranayam, the yoga, the bodily yoga, what Prabhupada calls gymnastics. Yet science cannot even, or is not even thinking on that matter. Now people have started to think about mindfulness and its benefits. So there are just so many layers of how our shastras speak versus what science speaks as body. So now science has to come up with words like the physical body, and then they have to speak of mind. They don't even know that there is a subtle body inside, right? So there is a difference of definition and understanding itself. When we speak of this world is in a ocean, what does that mean? Are we in an ocean? But we are actually, if you think about it, because if you think at the elemental level, where our soul is 1/10,000th part of the top of the hair, then that is what we are. Then what is it that is around us? It's just different types of atoms. So in a way, we are floating in this ocean that is full of atoms around us. So, how our shastras have talked about things, how we see the physical and the unmanifest, and we speak about it holistically. Science is yet to grapple with it because science is predominantly focused on the physical. So that is how I have tried to understand. It's almost like I once read an analogy that an embryo within the mother's womb is basically, it sort of feels with its hands. I don't know whether it can see, but with its legs and its movements, it feels whatever is inside the womb. Only when the embryo is has taken birth, it comes out, then it is able to see the mother who's been holding it for so long. Then it can see the true reality. So the embryo, while inside, may think that it is drinking and it is eating and is energizing and whatnot. But when the embryo comes out, and then we know it was the mother who was feeding all along. And the embryo's life itself would not have been possible had the mother not taken care of it. So, how we think of things, how we understand things is very situational for us when we are not fully conscious of things. So, it's like the situation of the embryo. How much can the embryo know of its mother being inside? Only when it can come out, as in be transcendental to the material nature, can you truly understand what material nature is. And trying to understand universe and trying to understand galaxies, etc., all of that is just trying to understand mother nature, Ma Durga. But we cannot understand her unless we are able to come out of the material thinking, because we are using imperfect senses to understand what is so perfect. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Hope you all don't mind my questions, because that's what I've been trying to understand myself. So other people asking me, I have no answer. And this is where I'm learning. Okay, Prabhuji, Mataji, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for asking question, Prabhuji. No, we don't mind at all. But it's sometimes even we are also unable to explain these things. So Prabhuji said the last sentence very nicely, that like we are trying to understand the perfect thing with our imperfect, senses and our imperfect body. There are four doshas in our body, and we are trying to understand like everything that is perfect. So it is impossible. But yeah, I know that when you start teaching Bhagavad Gita to new people, they come up with all these sorts of questions, and we should be ready to face this. Yeah, thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, Achintya Sakti,
Ye-
inconceivable. Yeah, I
yes,
just,
it is inconceivable and can't conceive it with our this senses. Yeah.
thank you
So
very much for educating me,
mm,
Vikas Prabhu. Hare
Oh,
Krishna.
no, no, not at all, Prabhu. As I said, we all are on the same path. Questions come to our minds also. And then, many times you keep the question aside, and then sometimes somebody says something in a lecture, and then we relate to that. So, at this time, that analogy of the embryo and the mother's womb sort of made sense to me, right? Like, how much can we, it's an analogy, it's not a perfect example
mm,
as such. But you can convey it to a sincere pursuer of knowledge that there are times you have to take the full birth, then only can you come to know your mother and see her face to face. That is what it is. So even for an embryo it is so painful, but you have to go through the process to be able to see the mother. In the same way, we have to go through the process. You may struggle, you may say the struggle should end right now, but that's not the thing. The struggle will take its own course, and our evolution will also take its own course. We have to just be patient.
mm,
Beautiful example of embryo and mother. Really nice. That beautiful, really. And that's where we come to Achintya Sakti, which we are not aware of it, and things are happening. Yeah. So
mm, mm,
very nice. Thank you.
mm.
Hare Krishna.
Hari. So should we stop here, Prabhuji, or want to do the next one? It is 8:18. So let's stop here. We are having here. Our deities are moving to the new temple next week. So today is going to be the last Sunday program in the old temple. And me and Shama Bhakti Mataji, we are all planning to go there. So
Okay.
let's stop here. Yeah. And but Hari Bol, Hari Krishna, thank you so much for coming and joining. Um, Vikas Prabhu, I'll send you something about what you said exactly. There is a conversation between the two embryo in a mother's womb, and one is sounds very much like a atheist, and the other sounds like a like a devotee. And I mean, it's I will not say devotee, but like how that conversation between the two embryo, that one is saying that like I don't believe in mother or something like that, and the other said that, and who is like, taking care of you right now? So I want to go out and see, and that's so beautiful. So I will share that with you. And Haladar Das Prabhuji, if anybody wants, let me know. But
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, please send it to me also.
yes, yes. It's on my Facebook page, Mataji. I will
Mm.
send you link also. Yeah. So yeah, so many things are there that because Krishna, he himself mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam that it is impossible to understand me and understand all my energies. But still, he says to Brahmadev that, like, because of my mercy, you will understand me. So what that means is that whatever is required, you will understand. You should be satisfied with that. Um, when you will get the self realization, you will get the enough knowledge. So that is a one way to look at it. Then yesterday, my Bhagavatam teacher was saying that it also means that, like, whatever is Prabhupada's books, only read those scrutinizingly. You don't even have to read any other books or any other explore any other, like, lectures or anything else. It's sufficient. It's all full in it. It's because he referred to the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and many other great acharyas commentary. So you don't even have to go and try to explore the other teachers commentary also in the our sampradaya also, because if these books itself are like full in, like, they have everything that is required. Just read it scrutinizingly, and you will get Krishna. That is what is Prabhupada is saying. So there are different way to look at this, and we will continue our study and try to understand Krishna with our tiny brain. Somebody was saying something.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So we see Abha Mehra Mataji joined it first time, I think. So
Yes, Mataji. Yes, I
Annapurna
follow.
Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, I remember your voice. So let us welcome Mataji. She was in Vrindavan, India, but now she's She's back here. So we can welcome Mataji. She's also our like from beginning.
Hari Bol Mataji. After a very long time we are hearing you.
Traditionally, we can welcome her. And, I saying
Hari
Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Welcome,
Hari
Mataji.
Bol.
Hari Bol. So coming from
Welcome back.
Vrindavan itself is so amazing, Mataji. Please participate, share your experience, Vrindavan experience. You are always welcome to share here, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, Prabhu,
Here,
Mataji.
here.
Yeah.
We are missing you, Mataji, here. Actually, one of the Prabhuji, there was another Annapurna Mataji. She joined one day, and Prabhuji actually thought that was you and started talking. Then he said, no, we are talking about another Annapurna Mataji. She is not you. That happened in one of the classes that I was listening, and we all remember you.
Thank you for remembering me.
Hari Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Should we end here? Vancha
Sure, Mataji.
kalpatarubyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha
Vasindhubhyeva
patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
vaishnavebhyo namo
vaishnavebhyo
namah.
namo namah.
Ananta Koti
Anantakoti
Vaishnava
Anand Koti
Vrinda
Vaishnava.
Vaishnava
Namacharya Sri
Vrinda.
Haridas Thakur ki
Thakur
jai,
ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Hare
I
Krishna.
see
Hare Krishna.
five messages in the chat box, but I see only one message. Is it something I'm missing or what? Okay, right there. Fine. Sorry, Hari.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Sumati
Mataji.
Mataji for reading. Hari Bol. So thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
And also, you enjoying the last day of your old temple, Mataji. It will be completely different from next week again.
Yes, Mataji. I created
Remember
a
the
reel.
experience.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yesterday we had a Bhumi Pujan, and they carried the small deities from the temple, old temple to the new. But next weekend on Saturday they are going to, shift, like, I mean, the
Okay.
deities will be taken to the new temple. So very much
Okay.
excited and looking forward. Yeah.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Very much. Thank you.
temple you are talking
Hare Krishna.
about.
Potomac DC, Mataji. Potomac DC. Where are you located, Mataji?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you are in Atlanta. Hari
Ah,
Bol. Yeah.
Hari Bol.
Because
Yeah.
I always attend Adi Gadadhar Prabhu's lectures, all the lectures, 5 days. He is in
Oh,
Atlanta. He is Atlanta Temple president.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
nice. Nice. Yeah. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hari
So
Bol. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. That what Pranam.